Oh, Benjamin, you crazy motherfucker. What you were doing on your basement?
Welcome to another episode of the Venevolent Show.
Why are you yelling? I mean, I completely support you on being excited about it, but you don't have to yell. We're like right next to each other.
Okay, well, welcome to another episode of the Venevolent Show. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing awesome. Like, my ears are kind of sore now, but I'm good.
Good.
How was your workout today?
Workout was excellent. It was pretty fucking crazy, actually.
Really?
If I would have known that it was just one round. If I would have known that it was 3 rounds, I would have not gone. But it was 3 rounds of just a bunch of burpees and toast to bars.
And Braulio love burpees.
Yeah.
That's something for you guys to know. That's actually very funny because we have days off on Thursdays, but for some other reasons I miss Wednesday and I want to go today. And I text Braulio last night like, "Hey, do you want to like go and do some cardio?" Because it's usually cardio on Thursdays, and I don't even remember when I snooze my alarm.
That was ridiculous. He was like last night, "Hey, I know it's your rest day, but do you want to go to the workout on Thursday?" And I said like, "Oh, probably. Let's go." I went this morning and he didn't show up. He didn't even show up after the invitation. Shame on you.
My bed was calling me. It'd be like that sometimes.
But you know what's worse? At least you didn't have to eat rotten eggs this morning.
Rotten eggs. How that
So
happened?
I went to this it's not even considered a grocery store. It's just one of those they have usually a name in front of them, like I don't remember.
We
what's the name.
sell eggs.
Yeah, it's like we sell eggs and produce. And it's like people that come from farms and bring like fresh produce. And evidently the eggs weren't fresh. I go ahead and I grab 2 dozens of eggs and I boil them. Because I like to have like boiled eggs ready. You know, you can store them in the fridge.
Yeah, of course.
If they're good.
Ready to go.
And ready to go and eat make your avocado toast or whatever. And I usually that's what I eat most breakfast. It's just avocado toast, and I toasted the bread, I cut the avocado, and I have my perfectly boiled eggs, and I put it on top. And when I do the first bite, I get this like sour,
dang good,
rotten, like immediately. I'm like, what is this? And I already had swallowed half of that chunk that I got.
I figured that you like threw up spit the last one.
I spit what I had left, but what I had swallowed, it was too late. I didn't throw. I wanted to. I was gagging, but it was disgusting.
Let me guess. Now you have like the sensation.
That's why I asked you for mints this morning because I needed to get rid of it. I was thinking like after I ate that, I kind of freaked out. I was like, give your boy some milk. I went to the fridge and poured me a glass of milk and to see if it's funny how people say like, there was a video, was it a Vine video? Was it
Which one
it
is
was
it?
a meme that there was this guy on the street high on something like on PCP or meth, something crazy. And somebody is walking by and this guy is acting up. He's like completely like messed up, high and like zombie looking kind of deal. And the person walking by goes like, "Damn, give my boy some milk."
He needs it. You guys, check your produce. Be mindful about it.
Yeah, please don't make sure your eggs aren't rotten when you. And I've been eating these eggs for 2 days.
Or if you're gonna go for it, make sure that you have a friend with mints and even some milk.
Yeah.
It could make a big difference.
But that's it. That's That's probably the most disgusting thing this week, besides the workout this morning.
This is the
It's pretty disgusting as well.
That's why we don't do Thursdays.
Yeah. But it's good for you. I like them. And, that's why you can then drink some.
For all our friends on Spotify, look what we have here.
Yeah. That's for you.
To be hydrated.
So how about you? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I feel awesome. My mind
you must be feeling awesome because you've been sleeping for 2 days straight.
Well, the reality is that we have this workout recently, and I think I went too hard on some deadlift, and my body just don't feel the same. Plus, we have the Murph a week ago, and I just been sore all over the place. So I figured just to give me 2 days off during the week. And I feel fresh, bro. Like, I feel awesome. I feel that I can do 2 Murph on a row. Don't quote me on that. But I'm ready for tomorrow. That's for sure.
It's all talk because he hasn't gone to CrossFit for
just 2 days.
Yeah.
What he's saying is pretty much that he missed me around. That's it.
Nah.
Wow.
Messi, huh?
If you want to touch that subject, it's going to be the whole episode. The whole episode just talking about La Pulga.
He's coming over.
El Mesías.
Yeah. He's crossing the pond.
He's crossing the pond. I'm so excited. So it's just another reason to go to Miami and have fun.
I saw a meme that said it was a Miami Dade meme.
Mm-hmm.
That said, and one more reason for y'all to hate Miami even more. Messi's coming to town.
It's surprising for me, like what he had to endure in the PSG, Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
Because he was displaying this art, what he always been doing, being a great player, and deal with the hate of the fanatics of his team just because he won against France in the World Cup.
Well, yeah, that's one of the theories that they just dislike him, period, because he beat France in the World Cup, and the PSG it's all French people to the core.
Yeah,
but also people complaining that his numbers weren't good with the club when you compare him to what he did in the World Cup. And does he have a good team? Is it the team? Is it are they playing for him? There's a lot of factors, but the truth is that he's out. He finally got out.
He's out for good. Yeah.
How crazy it is that he turned down almost $1 billion deal.
Literally $1 billion. $1 billion, and I was doing some research about it, and I thought it was like, sign up with us, you have $1 billion euros. It's €1 billion per year.
Oh, I feel like he also, I don't know, this is my theory. I feel like he also wanted to play because Cristiano Ronaldo went to Saudi Arabia for a crazy deal. And I feel like
400, I think. 400.
Yeah, I think it's 400 euros or million
euros. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't
It was a crazy number for sure. Yeah.
For 2 years.
Okay.
But I think in my theory is that Messi is playing the I'm the humble guy that is not gonna go for numbers to Saudi Arabia, and I'm not gonna be the guy who just gets drawn to a very attractive number on a contract, but I'm just gonna go do what's best for me, even though it's less money. But the money that he's gonna bring in tickets, jerseys, ads, especially ads when he's over in the United States.
It's Messi is more than the contract he's signing with any team, because he's pretty much like an ecosystem of money. Like recently, the tickets for the Miami's.
He's his own brand.
His own, yeah. It's his own brand, and it doesn't matter if he's making 1 billion euros per year, 10 billion euros per year, or $200,000 a year. He is still qualified as, in the eyes of many people, as the best, the GOAT. You know,
Yeah,
I think
especially after winning the World Cup.
That is more value. There's more value for him that how much money is he making.
Yeah, he unlocked football.
Yeah, yeah.
He just achieved everything that and he said it. I think there was an interview where he said like, yeah, la verdad que creo que es maravilloso, es fantástico, espectacular.
Argentinian 101 right here on the Venevolent show.
Dice que no, he said that especially after winning the World Cup, he feels like he has achieved everything that he needed to do in Europe, and it's his time to go to the MLS and still play like he would play, still play to win, still play and do the right thing, but getting to that different kind of life, like slowly starting to step out as far as a player, as a football player, instead of, because then he has a whole career in front of him. He's gonna close one chapter, and then once he retires from playing football, just the entrepreneur Messi.
Exactly. I think that is so delightful see this guy playing, because he play like he still need to accomplish certain things. He still need to get to the point where he is be considered the best, but he is already the best. At least on my humble opinion, he just achieved everything that you can achieve on football, and he still display these movements and these great plays with just the ball. It's like he owns the game. He just control the ball. He can make the ball do whatever he wants and put it inside of the la meta. I just get excited. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, he's incredible. Are you gonna go see him?
I would love to. Yeah, definitely.
To Atlanta or to Miami?
It's just it's more attractive to me go to Miami, because if I go there, I can like plan a tiny vacation, go see him play, and then just like maybe down a little bit further back to the Keys, you know.
Yeah.
Make it worth.
When is he coming? Do we know that?
I do know that, but
I'm gonna look it up.
I do know that he did something recently where he was talking about how it's been for him, this transition. And it's very interesting, the things he said. Especially because there's a lot of people, I don't know if you knew this, that wanted to see him back to the Barcelona.
Yeah, that was the whole deal. Like he wanted to, if he was gonna stay in Europe, his desire was to go back to
Barcelona,
and that couldn't happen.
I think he decided to like close that chapter.
Well, that couldn't happen. I think it couldn't happen. According to what I've read so far,
Hear this out.
That couldn't happen.
I really wanted to return. I was very excited to be able to return, but on the other hand, after having experienced what I experienced when I left, I didn't want to be in the same situation again. I didn't want to leave my future in someone else's hands. Although I heard that I was say that La Liga had accepted everything and it was everything fine for me to return, there were still many other things that had to happen. I heard that Barcelona had to sell players or lower player salaries, and the truth is that I didn't want to go through that. It was very hard that I experienced 2 years ago when I left Barcelona. It's a very ugly stage. I was excited about the new season and my children about their new year in school. I had to make a hasty decision on my future. Honestly, I don't know if Barcelona have done everything possible or not. The club, today, was not in a position to confirm 100% that I could return, which is understandable, due to the situation that the club is going through. If it had been a question...
They simply were unable to guarantee to offer the guarantees.
They didn't meet all the criteria for him to return.
Because Barca is doing badly financially right now.
Yeah. If it had been a question of money, I would have gone to Saudi Arabia or elsewhere. My decision is not based on money. And that's what I'm saying. Like, who doesn't want him on his team? Who doesn't want Messi on his team?
Yeah, I know, but I think it's like everybody does. But the main question here is, who does Messi want to play for?
Exactly. Hear this out. $29, cheapest ticket for Inter Miami's July 21st match before signing Messi. $467, cheapest ticket for Inter Milan July 21st after signing Messi. I'm talking about the same day. They call it the Messi effect.
So he's expected to join in July 21st. I think they play the Cruz Azul that day. So he's probably gonna have like a good month and a half break.
That's good. You know what he's gonna be doing, right?
What?
Training. Definitely.
Nah, he's gonna take some days off. He's gonna go back to the beach and do his thing. He's been training forever.
But when you're in that level, you love it.
No,
you're passionate about it.
I mean, I don't know if $450 is worth going to see Messi. I don't think so. I'd rather just watch him on the fucking TV.
Really? I think it's worth it.
To pay $400 just to go see La Pulga play?
La Pulga, man. Come on.
I'm comfortable here at my house. I just turn the TV on and I can just, pay, what is it, $20?
Ain't the same. It's just the excitement. See this tiny guy scoring those fantastic goals, you know?
If you're lucky, if he's scoring.
The rush.
In that game.
He's playing, he's scoring. That's how it is.
That's not how it is, but it's okay.
Okay.
PSG would say the opposite.
PSG can go in.
Damn. So we already know who he hates.
Yeah. We don't support hateful comments in the Venevolent show, but sometimes you need to express yourself freely. like in this particular occasion. Let me ask you something that has been on my mind. What do you know about the wildfires that are going on in Canada? That they have New York looking like a post-apocalyptic city.
They have New York looking like it's Mexico. Come on, man.
On movies?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know. I don't understand that. Like how if we go to like the Soviet Union, it's like all so crispy and cold. And then you go to Mexico and it's like yellow.
Yeah.
Why?
That's how they've made, I don't know, in films. If anything, it's supposed to be in Mexico or shot in Mexico. It's got like, what is it called? It's got sepia filter
all over.
Yeah. It's just that red,
yellowish.
orangey. Yeah.
But why?
I don't know. And that's what they decided to do with New York. I think the Canadian wildfires are pretty crazy right now. So I think usually Canada starts earlier with their wildfires. I'm not sure. This is you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that the U.S. is late for their wildfire season, and wildfires are natural, are something that it's supposed to happen. As part of the ecosystem recovery.
Okay.
It's part of the
so
cycle.
It's something that happens naturally.
Yes. But a lot of these fires There are some that are happening naturally, but a lot of these fires are due to humans.
Okay.
Yeah, they're because of us. A lot of them are starting like that. So they're saying that the theory is that the fires that are supposed to be that are supposed to happen naturally are starting at the same time, are igniting at the same time as the ones that are caused by humans. So that is making it worse because there's a lot more smoke that travel down to New York. I mean, in big cities in Canada, Toronto was the same way. But I was looking at while it was happening. I have a few friends that live in New York, and through Instagram, I could see their Instagram stories, and they were giving updates. The air quality got to the point that it was so bad that breathing New York's air, it was the equivalent of smoking 6 cigarettes at first. And then it continued to get worse.
That's concerning.
It got to the point where the air quality was like over 400. And it was the equivalent of smoking like 14 to 16 cigarettes.
Wow. I have something here. There are currently more than 400 active fires across Canada. More than 240 of them are out of control. Quebec has recorded at least 154 of the 400 fires so far. The Canadian government says that it is expecting higher than normal fire activity to continue through the wildfire season. Wildfires are normal to an extent across Canada and the western United States in the summertime, but outbreaks as widespread and numerous as these are virtually unheard of in late May into June. The amount of smoke pouring into the U.S. Northeast is also exceptional, which is what we're seeing right now in New York mostly.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you, that they're supposed to happen naturally, but the ones caused by humans are making it a lot worse.
There's a tiny note here. I like to share this with all of y'all. How to keep yourself safe when the air quality index is dangerous. Try to limit your time outdoor. Wear a face mask. Close the windows at home. Drive your car with the windows closed. Run an air purifier in your home.
Maybe Apple came with the Vision Pro right in time, so we can all go out to New York with the Vision Pros.
Okay.
And be able to look at New York the way it's supposed to look.
That would be awesome. Let me look in my pocket and pull up those almost $4,000 to get mine and just not suffer from that.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, it looks amazing.
It looks very futuristic. It looks like Apple is again showing us why it's so big in tech, because it looks like it's always at a step ahead. But the prices are insane.
The price is it's high, but according to what I saw in the keynote, it was just you're gonna be able to do a lot of things with it. It's gonna be just a computer, but you're immersed in it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna work seamlessly across all your devices. But it'd be funny that you're paying for a product, whatever, $3,500, $4,000, to just use it in New York, in this case, to be able to see New York clearly.
Okay.
It'll make it look like you're not in Mexico anymore.
And then they pop up with the purifying air device, sell separate for an additional $2,000.
Yeah, that's it.
That's how they roll.
That's crazy. I hope that by the time this episode goes out, all that smoke clears out and the air quality
crossing our fingers
gets better, because that's insane. But something that is very interesting is that firefighters, I forget the name, I think they're called wildlands firefighters, so I can look it up. These firefighters, let me make sure I get the term right, because there's a lot of experts in the internet. They're gonna roast me.
I think there's a lot of experts and inexperts that are still gonna roast you.
Wildland, yeah, it's wildland firefighters pretty much.
Okay.
And these are the firefighters that are specifically going to control these wildfires from spreading into areas where it could be dangerous for people. And nobody talks about this, but these guys are exposed to what New York looks like right now, to the air quality and the amount of smoke constantly. Like if you were in New York out in New York, and you were breathing air that was equivalent of smoking from 8 to 16 cigarettes, these guys are exposed to that every single day for several years. And I just like to mention that because that's such a crazy work and career, and they deserve so much respect because nobody thinks about these like first responders or these firefighters that are constantly controlling these fires from spreading, and they're always exposed to these crazy levels of smoke and bad air quality.
Yeah. Well, I figure that they will have some gear to.
They do, but still, I mean, it gets to the point where you're protected, but it's the overexposure. It'll still has to affect you.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, it'll still
definitely.
Has to do
I'm not
something,
saying that this gear is gonna like keep you safe and sound, but definitely the gear itself is gonna like help you to face this kind of, because it's their job.
And it's not just the exposure is one thing, just for people who live in big cities in New York or in Toronto and in cities that are being affected by the smokes right now. It's for you to see what these guys do and what these guys are exposed to every day. But also you have to take into account that these firefighters hike every day. They have to carry heavy things while hiking to get to these places, because most of the time these are remote places. These are hard places to get to where these fires happen.
In the middle of the wild forest.
Yeah, in the middle of the forest, especially in high altitude mountains and forests. So it says a forest fire is a lot bigger than a typical house fire and a way harder to contain. So being a wildland firefighter is possibly one of the toughest and most intense jobs out there. It involves a lot of carrying heavy things and hiking up steep slopes. And they definitely, I'm sure they probably don't make a lot of money.
That's how it is with the first responders, sadly.
Yeah. But I hope it clears out. And I just wanted to mention that to give respect to firefighters out there.
Yeah. Thank you so much for everything.
I have a crazy story that's gonna blow your socks off.
Okay. I think my socks are ready for it. I like stories, but I love crazy stories, so go for it.
So do you know who Benjamin Franklin is?
That's the guy that is in the $100 bill and discovered electricity. Yeah, I know the guy.
Yeah, so you have so much respect for him, right? What do you think of him? Like, you think he's just a genius, period? That's it?
Not well. I didn't use the word genius. It's just an important guy in U.S. history.
Well, this is crazy. Today I learned that in 1998, a preservation group began restoring Ben Franklin's residence in London. During their rehabilitation work, they discovered a secret. windowless room under his garden containing the remains of 15 people.
15 people
Yeah.
on his basement? Like in a secret room?
So I have the story right here. It says,
Damn. What you were doing, Ben?
for nearly 2 decades leading up to the signing of the Declaration of Independence, Benjamin Franklin lived in London in a house at 36 Craven Street. In 1776, Franklin left his English home to come back to America. More than 200 years later, 15 bodies were found in the basement, buried in a secret, windowless room beneath the garden. In 1998, conservationists were doing repairs on 36 Craven, looking to turn Franklin's whole haunt into a museum. From 1 meter wide, 1 meter deep pit, over 1,200 pieces of bone were retrieved. Remnants of more than a dozen bodies, according to Benjamin Franklin's house. 6 were children. Forensic investigations showed that the bones dated to Franklin's day. Franklin was noted a revolutionary and powerful Freemason, the Grand Master of Masons of Pennsylvania. So it's easy to wonder what dark secrets Franklin may have hidden in his basement chamber. But the truth, it turns out, isn't quite so dark.
Oh, Benjamin, you crazy motherfucker. What you were doing on your basement?
I feel like Masons
dark shit.
always have some dark shit. So it says the most plausible explanation is not mass murder, but an anatomy school run by Benjamin Franklin's young friend William Husson. Still, in Franklin's time, anatomy lessons were a dark, ethically ambiguous business. It says anatomy was still, this is per the mental flaws, anatomy was still in its infancy, but the day social and ethical mores frowned upon it. A steady supply of human bodies was hard to come by legally, so Husson, Hunter, and the field's other pioneers had to turn to grave robbing, either paying professional resurrection men to procure cadavers or digging them up themselves to get their hands on specimens. Researchers think that 36 Craven was an irresistible spot for Husson to establish his own anatomy lab. The tenant was a trusted friend, the landlady was his mother-in-law, and he was flanked by convenient sources for corpses. Bodies could be smuggled from graveyard and delivered to the wharf at one end of the street, or snatched from the gallows at the other end. When he was done with them, Husson simply buried whatever was left of the bodies in the basement, rather than sneak them out for disposal elsewhere, and risk getting caught and prosecuted for dissection and grave robbing. Franklin was probably aware of the illegal studies going on in his building, says the Benjamin Franklin House, but it's doubtful that he was involved himself. Still, we can imagine that, curious man that he was, he didn't sneak down and check out the proceedings at least once or twice.
That's crazy. That's insane.
So it wasn't him doing he wasn't killing people and putting them down, but he was probably aware of, like he said, like they were.
He was most likely aware.
No, he was aware, but this guy was doing grave robbing.
Dang, that is twisted, man. Those kind of news give me goosebumps. Just go to a cemetery and dig somebody dead body from the grave for you to like play the scientist on a very big figure's basement.
Yeah, but think about it. Also think about, this was a long time ago, and people were just starting to study anatomy. So it was kind of like it was a dark science to study. So it's crazy to think about it, because I feel like a lot of these grave robberies and keeping corpses to study them in a dark setting under a house in a basement or something like that is what led studies and research to be able to have to be able to let science advance.
Yeah, but that is not a reason to justify you digging someone's body out of your where your remains should be resting in peace.
No, I know it's not, but it takes crazy in order. Sometimes it takes crazy in order to have crazy discoveries and have crazy conduct crazy research that ends up being helpful for humanity, like anatomy, doctors, how advanced medicine can be. It all started at some point, and it's crazy to think about that. Maybe it started with just some crazy passionate people about anatomy robbing corpses, robbing graves in order to study anatomy, in Benjamin Franklin's basement.
Ben, for real? I think it still is not justified. But you know what's crazy also? How people stay in the past. And they don't accept how we can evolve as human beings. I have something here that it's a particular case. Am I the asshole for making my daughter wear dresses when they visit their grandparents?
So these people are probably religious.
Most likely. Hear this out. My in-laws are what you would call traditional. They seem to think the war should have stopped 50 years ago and think everything since then is evil. They aren't racist that I know of or outwardly bigot, but they just are very old-fashioned. My husband and I have 3 children, 16, 14, and 10 years old. And we go to visit all their grandparents since they live close. Here's the issue. They don't like the idea of women wearing pants at all.
Pants?
Pants.
Like even long pants?
Like pants.
That's pretty crazy.
Because that's like they see it like a manly thing, like a man thing, using pants. So girls should use dresses or long skirts, My mother-in-law said it's showing off, and because you know that the pants that they're like they're kind of tight.
They show the shape of your body. They're tied to your
Yeah. So the mother-in-law thinks that is kind of inappropriate.
So
for a lady.
No mini skirts allowed in this
Definitely
house.
not. Like long ass skirts. My mother-in-law said it's showing off, and my father-in-law always said it isn't Christian. Now I am pretty feminine, so I don't mind throwing on a dress when we stop by, but our daughters are not. They don't like visiting my husband's parents, which breaks his heart, because we made them put on a dress before they go. They are both pretty tomboyish, and they never wear any dresses otherwise. I had to buy each of them a few dresses especially so they can go. To be clear, it's not like they aren't allowed over in if they wear pants. It's just that they won't shut up the entire time about how much they hate it. I don't blame them. Like, the way we dress express how we are without even saying a word. And like, if they like to dress with I don't know, like Carhartt, or because this woman says that they dress pretty tomboyish. That's their style.
Yeah.
It will be, I can only imagine how uncomfortable it is had to use a dress just because your grandparents don't realize that this is the 21st century. Our daughters hate this, and I think it's unfair. I guess it is. But in a lot of cultures, women only wear skirts and dresses. So I don't think it's a big deal. Plus, it isn't like it hurts them to wear a dress a few times a week for a few hours. The issue is our oldest is planning to never speak to her grandparents again after she's 18. and I am worried it's affecting them. I think this woman is pleasing the grandparents too much, and it's not validating the perspective and how her kids feel.
So do you think she's the asshole, or who do you think the asshole is in this case?
The grandparents, and he have like 30% of a even 45% of an asshole in her, because she will. I will yes, because she should stand beside her children.
I definitely think that she's the asshole.
And
completely because here's the thing. You're so used to a way of living, your lifestyle. I'm talking about the grandparents. They're old. They probably couldn't catch up with the progression of things and how things changed when you're like, I feel like a lot of people either stick with their mentality, it's their way or the highway, and they just choose not to evolve and progress and be open. And there are people that simply cannot catch up because things they just don't understand it.
But this is a religion thing also, because they said that using pants, if a woman uses pants, that's not very Christian.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's tied to that. Whatever your beliefs are, whether they're religious based, whether they're just culturally.
But that's being also uptight, because I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of Christians out there. You can leave a comment if I'm wrong, where it's totally normal to use pants if you're a woman.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's just how you live, how you are used to living your life, because they're probably more of the extreme side of religious people, and they have these beliefs in lifestyle that women cannot wear pants because it's not Christ-like. And the thing is, it's not very Christian-like. The thing is that I understand that side when you're old and you just are not going to change. The asshole here is the mom, because she has control over the entire situation. She is still pleasing the grandparents for no reason at all. There's no reason for that. There's absolutely no reason.
I think she's avoiding the conflict.
Well, but the thing is, like, even if she's avoiding the conflict, she should let her daughters wear however they feel comfortable. Whatever clothes they feel comfortable with that aligns with their identity and it represents who they are, they should wear that, because then you're forcing someone to be someone else, and especially forcing them to go to a place. She is guilty if her daughters are the ones who are gonna hold resentment toward their grandparents because she's making that happen. Yeah. She's like, oh, I don't. That one of the daughters, the oldest, like, I don't want to talk to them anymore after I'm 18. And she's not being an asshole. She was put in a situation where she saw herself in that situation just to, like, okay, mom, I'm being forced into doing this. I don't like what I have to dress. I don't like the persona I have to be around my grandparents. So you don't leave me any other choice but to hold resentment toward them. So I think she is the asshole, because there could be a balance. Your parenting and it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy.
She want to change their kids to please somebody else just because she is not able to face the problem, which is the mentality of the grandparents, because that's all it is. I'm not saying that they're wrong or they're bad people, but they seen a woman that use pants as something non-Christian and evil. So the mentality is the main problem, and escalates when this woman cannot empathize with their children. Like they're not that person. They're not the kind of girls that use dresses.
Exactly. And even if the mentality is the problem, it is the problem because the mom is letting it be. It doesn't even have to be addressed. It doesn't even have to be catered to. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, and I think a lot of people do this when you're put in the middle. The mom is put in the middle between the grandparents' mentality and her daughter's upbringings. She is trying to cover and defend her own thing. She's acting like it's more about her because she knows that if they go and wear whatever they want, wear their pants and their t-shirts.
Do you think that she like deep down wanna change her kids? They want her to be more feminine?
Well, I don't know. What I'm saying is like if she lets the daughters go with pants and t-shirts to the grandparents, she is worried. She's worried that the grandparents are gonna think badly of her for how she's raising the kids. That? Yes, absolutely, 100%. And who cares? Who cares? I mean, you don't have to adjust just because somebody else has a different mentality. You just need to be yourself, and we all need to learn how to be open and how to just learn how to live with people who are different than you, period. Not everybody needs to be just like you and have your same beliefs. I just think that that's how it should be.
I think it's a 50-50, Gil, with the grandparents and her. Her for obvious reasons, and the grandparents because it's not justified. You're old, so you don't need to change your perspective or outdate how the world around you goes. You need to, as human beings, we need to adapt to the circumstances around us. That's how we became the superior animal in the world, because we adapt. And if you see your granddaughters and you are considering they're evil because they just want to dress as they feel like it, that's just being an asshole. As simple as that.
Yeah. I mean, I just still think that it's the mom's 100%. 100%. Because it's not, I understand different beliefs. You could still accept that the grandparents have this type of belief as long as they're not imposing this to anybody.
But they are.
But it's because they don't want, they're not in control of the daughters. You see what I'm saying? They could say whatever they think. Oh, I think that's evil. Oh, good for you. What are you going to do about it? I'm going to wear my pants. Because what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
What the F?
It's just insane.
We live in that kind of world, man.
But okay. You guys can tell us what you guys think, but
please do.
Talking about assholes.
Okay.
Check this one out.
It's the main subject today.
Assholes. It's just the world is full of assholes.
That's true.
Am I the asshole for telling my mom to change a tattoo? I am a 17-year-old. I am a trans. Hold on. Am I the asshole for telling my mom to remove or change a tattoo? I am 17. I am trans and came out to my family a few months ago. All in all, everyone has been supportive, although I believe my mom was a tiny bit bummed. She said she would always support me, though she just needs time to process all of this, which is honestly painful, but not the reason why I'm here. My mom got a tattoo with my sister's name and my dead name after I was born. It's a huge tattoo with a unique design that incorporates her and my dead name. It covers most of her arm, and she's really proud of it because my old sister designed it and gifted to her for her birthday. Obviously, constantly seeing my dead name is kind of triggering to me, Therefore, I told her she needs to remove it. She seemed shocked and told me she is too old for longer tattoo sessions. She hasn't gotten a tattoo in years because of that. She also was diagnosed with depression and such, and uses it as an excuse for not having the energy to change it anymore. I don't really believe her, but whatever. Now she's often trying to cover it up with clothes, but I feel like it's not enough. Just like the knowledge that name is still there. It haunts me. But she refuses to change it. We had a lot of fights because of it, and she said that she's really trying to hide it, but it's a part of her body that she is in love with. Because there is so much history and love for her children in that tattoo, I can really relate. Because I don't have any particularly significant tattoos. Now, my birthday was a few days ago, and some family came over, and the issue came up because my cousin was showing off her new tattoo, and someone asked about the dead name tattoo. My mom got uncomfortably silent and excused herself and went to the kitchen. So everyone started asking me what was that about. And I told him that I wanted her to remove the tattoo, but she doesn't want to. My sister also doesn't want her to because she believes it will look really awful since the entire design is attached to the names, and the only way to cover it would be just to make her entire arm black. Damn. Anyway, I didn't actually plan for that reaction. But my cousin, who can relate a bit because she's queer, for some reason got furious and went after my mom and screamed at her for being so unsupportive and accused her of being transphobic, which I don't believe. Although it was nice to see someone get angry about the tattoo because my cousin was finally saying some things I was feeling, but I didn't want to put into words. My mom then had a panic attack and left the house. She's now staying with my grandpa, and my dad and my sister are angry at me for making some of my family gang up on her. Am I the asshole?
Yes, she is. Yes, she is the asshole. Because it's her mother's body. She decides what to do with her body. And it's not like she's not supporting her. It's like she, for some reasons, whatever they are, she doesn't feel like remove that tattoo. And she's pretty old already. That's painful, man.
Yeah.
I think she should accept the fact that some people in their life are gonna show support and accept her until the extent that they can. And that's fine. It looks like she wants more. She's demanding more from her mom. And that's being unconsidering to her.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. I understand the dead name, and I understand how it can be triggering. But you cannot force someone into, to your point, getting a really, because that's what I've heard about tattoo
They're
removal.
painful.
They're painful. They're
yeah.
like twice as painful or 3 times.
You can even say 3 times as painful as a regular tattoo.
Which is already painful enough.
And she's an advanced age lady. Like, she's old for what I'm getting.
I mean, it also, depression is not to play with. I feel like you're being an asshole also because your mom is telling you, I'm depressed, I'm old, I'm not up for putting myself through semi-surgically, like
pretty much, yeah,
procedure,
and you know
because
that
of how much pain I'm gonna go through, and she gave her a reason. That's why I haven't gotten any more tattoos. So I don't want to do that. And she is not just like showing the dead name in front of other people. Like, hey,
she's even covering it.
She is covering it.
Yeah.
So she is not just. She's just wanting respect.
She's demanding more from her.
For the decision. Like, I don't want to do that because I'm older. That's painful, and I don't have the energy to do it.
Asshole alert.
I think, yeah, I understand.
Even the skin, your skin ain't the same when you get old. Like it gets more sensitive.
Oh yeah.
Like this woman could experience even 5 times the pain that if I get a tattoo removal. And I don't think she's being she's accepting
here's some comments. I haven't read the comments. Here's some comments that it says, gentle, you're the asshole. I get it. I really do. I've had a severe gender dysphoria for longer than you've been alive. And I understand how upsetting seeing the tattoo is. But your mom isn't being transphobic. She isn't flaunting the tattoo. In fact, she's trying her best through non-intrusive means to keep it covered so it won't upset you. And she isn't challenging your identity or dead naming you in your daily life. She supports who you are. The issue here is that you do not get to require another person to get what amounts to a painful semi-medical procedure on their body in order to satisfy your personal concerns or issues, no matter how real or serious those may be. You just don't. You do not get to demand that she alter her actual body for you. From the sound of it, your mother understands the seriousness of this. She isn't being hateful to you about it, as we so often see on this sub, or shouting at you that this is the name she gave her baby. I suspect that if she could go back in time and undo it, she might, but she can't. What she's telling you is that she will not spend hundreds of dollars and go through a great deal of physical pain in order to have it removed or covered. And that's fair. It's her body. Yeah. And she's not saying no because she doesn't care about you or your identity. She's saying no because it's a painful, intrusive, medically adjacent procedure that she feels she cannot cope with at this stage in her life. And that's as valid as your concerns are. And I agree with this person.
I love that comment. I love it. It's so accurate.
I think it says, I get it why it bothers you, but she's trying to be sensitive and compromise, and you're not taking her bodily autonomy or the nuance here into consideration at all. So you're the asshole.
She's definitely the asshole. Like, there's not another way of seeing it.
She supports. Like, the mom is in support.
You know what's the problem? Is that when we, especially on this case, it's her mom. She know this woman for her entire life. She forgot completely what boundaries are. And boundaries, if just with empathy, just empathy ain't enough. You need boundaries. Otherwise, you have chaos. That's how it is. And I want to share something to you about boundaries specifically, because
I mean, also, I'm just in my head still about this whole story. The dismissal of the mom's mental health bothered me, because it tells you how selfish this person is, because the person's triggered and my dead name, this and that, it triggers to see me and stuff, and that's understandable. But also, you have to look outside of your own body. You have to have some empathy put yourself in your mom's shoes. She's telling you something that is legitimate, and this is important.
That sucks.
That bothered me. So
especially because it's her mom.
Definitely the asshole.
It's her mom.
I don't think, as being as supportive as she is, I don't think she is lying to her, and also trying her best to cover it. I mean, just don't look at it. Don't, you know what I mean? Just get over it.
You're the asshole. Just, if that ain't clear enough, you're the asshole for not understanding your mom. Pretty much. Okay, so am I the asshole for doing weird, awkward poses whenever my mother-in-law accidentally walks in on me in the bathroom?
What?
Yeah, while you use her. So my mother-in-law come to stay with us for a few weeks till her home is renovated for Christmas. The problem is that she has been randomly walking in on me while I'm on the bathroom. That's awkward. Thankfully, not once has she seen me naked, because I start picking up on her behavior after the second time in a week. She barged in, then turns and said, "Oh, sorry," then closed the door. several times. I tried talking to my husband about it, but he keep ignoring me. Then flat out say, so what if she accidentally see you naked? Like just justifying his mother. She's family, he said.
He said,
she's family.
Like that, just like that?
She's family.
And this guy knows how to read intonation.
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
We have a lock and I couldn't use it, but I have past trauma from the idea of being locked in a room after my brothers locked me in the bathroom when I was 5. Okay, so there's a combination of things. No boundaries and trauma. Trauma from her, no boundaries from the mother-in-law. So I came up with this idea. I got inside the bathroom pretending to use it and wait for her to come. Because honestly, it's deliberating at this point. When she accidentally get in, I do a weird, awkward position.
I think that's hilarious.
For example, doing a ballet stand standing on the toilet or standing facing the wall with my hands up, fully clothes on. I couldn't see how awkward and weird this would be for her because she stand there for a few seconds trying to figure it out what I was doing. It was hilarious. At first, seeing her initial confusion, but she told my husband about it, claiming she caught me practicing rituals in the bathroom.
What?
Like rituals, like...
Yeah, I can
you know what I'm saying?
Like, I can see this woman being like
calling on a spirit or something.
She's doing, yeah.
I clear things out and reveal the reason why. My husband was livid. He called me childish and said that I made her mom feel terrified and weirded out by my behavior. He said I should act maturely and lock the damn door instead of playing mind games. I'm sure Thanksgiving dinner will be hella awkward tomorrow, especially after what happened. I don't think she's in the asshole. I think she's having a blast fucking around with her mother-in-law. And the reason why I don't think she's the asshole is because if she expressed her trauma, this woman should respect that it's staying on somebody else's house. It doesn't matter if it's her son's house or whatever, and knock the goddamn door. It's as simple as that.
Well, I also think that, okay, you're my mother-in-law and you're staying in my house. What's wrong with people not having effective, clear communication? I just don't understand.
No boundaries. No boundaries.
But my thing is like the communication itself. It tells me that there was never the conversation of like, hey, I have this trauma.
Will you knock the door?
Would you please knock on the door when you come in the bathroom so I don't have to do these awkward poses?
To fuck around with you, pretty much.
Yeah, because like, it was just her reaction, and I think it's hilarious.
Listen, boy, I think your wife is conjuring something. She's trying to speak with the bad Lord. Come on, just knock the goddamn door. Respect my space, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
she's not the asshole.
That's insane.
I call it. She's not the asshole.
The mother-in-law is the asshole.
She's of course.
Yeah.
And it's not... I kind of feel bad saying like, you're the asshole. Because it's just like... It's probably an old lady. It's just to like walking in every room. But just communication. If there's more communication in there, I don't think that that's something that should be happening. You know? I can only imagine the son. The guy is like, oh my God, Jesus. He's probably been miserable about this situation with his wife and
I don't think so. I think he's taking the mom's side.
Oh, definitely. Because she's family.
Yeah, he's taking the mom's side, and he is an asshole as well because he's completely dismissing his wife's trauma and his wife's deal with like, I'm making...
Yeah, actually, he called it childish. He called it childish in some point and everything.
That's bullshit because he could literally say like, hey, mom, listen, she's making awkward poses because she's dealing with this and you're just walking in the bathroom and you're just walking in without knocking the door. And that's her reaction. Would you please knock on the door next time? She ain't doing any fucking rituals.
Yeah. You're right.
That's
You're
just,
right.
you know what I mean?
He's choosing the wrong size, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think he's being miserable dealing with this shit. He's just taking his mom's side because he's a mama's boy.
He's a mama's boy.
Fucking.
Oh my God.
But what do you guys think about that? We're gonna leave some questions right here on Spotify. Look right here, right there, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen to us on Spotify. We have the show available on Apple Podcasts as well. We have our show available on Google Podcasts, Amazon, and more platforms to come. If there are people weirdos that don't use Spotify,
literally no excuses to get the content. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Please subscribe. Give us some love with some likes. Maybe a comment if you feel like it. We're going to be here every week. I told you this is the first episode. You guys are going to see more of the both of us. And I'm happy to be here and share all these contents with y'all. And for the people on Spotify, ya me la terminé.
Ciao.